As I said in the Dawood, when was he become in the public? The time the Talut has a fighting or has a war between the polytheists and monotheists, which the one who Israelity was, all of them is monotheists. As you know, this is, they are believing in one God. But the polytheists, they are just believing in there's a lot of God or some or sun worshipper or something other. But those were people was trying to take their lands, and like I said, the Talut was looking for the good army, good people, but at the same time by the recommendation of his prophet. His prophet told him that there is a boy that is he will be much more benefit, and at the same time he can conquer all our enemy. So because the prophets knew that where is he is, and God already mentioned to that prophet about the Dawood. At the same time, the Dawood's father also was working with the Talut, or with the Saul, King Saul, and then they told that we should bring that one and put him in the training, and they also put him in the army. That this boy is very, very, talent. He has, God gave him a lot of power already. He has it. And then they went to see really that where is he? And they say, oh yes, he is in the mountain. And then the mountain, he is poeming, and he is has a sound like music poem, and some kind of praising God by poems. And then when they saw all the mountains, the sound is coming from the mountain to him, and also the birds all around him turning, all the sheep also is come listening all together without any noise, anything. So Samuel, prophet, he said he is the one, yes, and he recommended David, recommended Talut that you should bring that boy. Then Talut asked his fathers, because he was the housekeeper, and then he asked, bring your sons. He has 10 sons. The last one is this David, and he brought all one by one to the prophet, which was to sit down as a meeting probably in Talut or Saul. None of them was said he's not the one, he's not the one, he's not the one. But the father of the David was feel kind of down, or kind of does not want to be show the last son, because he is at the same time young, at the same time he is different. He is just by himself. He is a poeming, he is a talking, he is different, and he is not as a normal person. He doesn't want to introduce or bring him to that meeting. However, they said no, bring that one, the last one. Then he brought David, and he said, okay, let me to go there and bring him. He is not at home. Then his father went to the mountain, and then he find him and come. Dawood came But during the way which he coming to the meeting, there was all the rocks, as one rock talking with him. On the way there is a, the stone, there is some kind of say, take me with you, take me with you. And he pick up one of the rock, and then go some more walk, and then see another the piece of rock saying, take me with you too, take me with you. However, he took all the 3 times the piece of rocks, put them in his bucket. His bucket is all like a backpack is has a back, and then he came to the meeting, and they accepted, and then they say, okay, you are the one to be involved. They select him as an army person, and they send him to the Jalut war. So when they send him, he killed the Jalut. However, I mentioned to you that he has 3 rocks. He threw one rock, and then to the all army become all dismantle, and then the other one, and the other one, and find the last rock he had threw it to the face, to the foreface of the Jalut, and Jalut fall down, and he killed him by his own sword. However, the news becomes very large, and then everybody was, that was the boy, was very strong, he's new army, he's new surgeon, and so on. And then the soil, or the Talut, of course he is the king of the all Israeli, and he gave a present his daughter, not his daughter, the daughter is from the wife of concubines, like the one of the wife was concubines, the one is not as nikah, or not as a formal wife, but just like a girlfriend. Then from her daughters gave the present. Then Dawood right away denied, he rejected. When he rejected, the king became upset on him, he sent him to the jail, and then get out him. But because the reason Dawood knew that this is not from a legitimate wife, he is not right to me. But at the same time, the Talut become much more upset, and then the face of the public, he become down, and then everybody knows, he rejected his concubines' daughters. However, after I believe 5 years or something less, I don't remember that one, but the Talut was died. Then the people was, because he was has the name of the public, everybody knows that David was killed the Jalut, he is the one who's supposed to be our king. And then when the Talut was died, and then people was go bring from the jail that David, and David become a king of the all Israeli. And then David has a lot of story, and when he became the king, and he was at that time 30 years old, and 7 years was in the Bethlehem and place, and then I think after that he became in Jerusalem. However, he establish a government in the way of the religions mostly, and then all with the justice, with the all beauty of God conscience, to be not do anything shaitanic things or any things like used to be do all the other Israelite. Then he at the same time he is very powerful man. The story of the David is a lot, and for he lived 70 years age and then died, but during 70 about 15 years he was the shepherd. After that he was involved with the public and all the history, and for the almost 55 years in his life he did a lot of things. And now we have to know who he was, from which tribe. David was from the tribe of the Benjamin. Benjamin was one of the son of the Jacob, and then also the descendants of the Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. However, also the King Saul was the same Benjamin tribe, but a different cousin. However, and then David in the two religion in the Bible and in the Torah, in Quran is similar talk about him. Most has a history, has a story. First of all, David was reached after 13 generation to the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. And also the story about how he married, how he deal with the justice to the government, and all this story by in the Quran and also in the Genesis of the book of Torah. So in the book of Torah, mostly about they talk about the life of the Prophet David, through his what he command, what he officially those things. But in Quran talk about some things like spiritually talking about what he has, the power of spirituality power, what he had. A different subject they are talking about in the Genesis, talking about different subject to also through to his daughters, his wife, his identity, have those back story, those things. But the Quran entirely, after when he become a Khalifatullah, or the one who become the prophets of Allah, in the Quran was depict on from that, and then give a lot of information. So the most information about his believing, his what he has, how he believes, for how he did, how he made justice. In mostly when our program is also it's about the believer. So he was one of the God's believer entirely. So Quran was talk about the very one or two verses to three, 7 verses also. But no, I'm sorry, the 7 verse was for the Talmud, but the 16 verses in Quran about the David. But inshallah, I will after the one break, I will recite it to you, and also give you all the translation from the Quran, which is about the David or Dawood alayhi salatu wassalam. And I gave you one break, and I will come back inshallah.